Hi guys, it's your two poly chicks again, Tiffany and Cindy. And
Hi guys.
oh my, what a day. But we're still moving strong. We're still going on. There's no such thing as impossible, right? Isn't it?
No.
Impossible.
And guys, let me just say before we start, Tiffany is very stubborn. Now let's go tape.
Yes. Everybody that knows me knows or feels or should know that I am. I persevere. I like to call it persevere.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Got it. Heard. I didn't say heard.
Oh my gosh. But so we, as of October 22nd, we will have a year of the two poly chicks, a year of us talking and sharing information, sharing parts of our lives, sharing guests with you, sharing content, awesome content with you. And we loved every minute of it, but there were certain parts of it that we really enjoyed more than others, I would say. Mm-hmm. And there were certain guests that we had that just stuck out to us. And my favorite episode is the adult entertainment episode with Cinnamon Love.
I didn't do the drum roll.
Oh, I didn't do the drum roll. I'm sorry.
This is the 19th taping. This is the 19th
yes,
taping, but it's drum roll.
We taped 17,000 times. So I forgot the drum roll. But I already told you guys, my favorite episode is the adult entertainment episode with Cinnamon Love. And the reason I chose that episode is because it was so insightful and enlightening. And you know, when people think about adult entertainment, of course, they think of sex, and sex, I don't know if we're allowed to say sex. I know I said that before. I don't know, but just adult, the word, yes, the word sex is like a taboo. Just saying it and thinking it is a taboo subject. And you know, and I'm not even talking about just within the adult entertainment industry. I'm talking about between husband and wives. You have some husbands and wives that don't even talk about what they like in bed. I mean, really, if I can't please you and you can't please me, there's a problem. But hey, like I said, it's a taboo subject, and we kind of shed some light on the adult entertainment industry. And with Cinnamon Love being our guest, we usually do a pre-recording. We didn't do that with her, and we didn't know what to expect. And were we surprised when we had her, and her level of insight, knowledge, and just awareness, her passion, everything about that episode kind of was like, wow. And it ran like an hour and 14 minutes. Because it was like we couldn't cut anything out of it. We talked about the fact that the commercialization of sex is prevalent everywhere. You have commercials where, you know, there's the sexy model and the sexy this. You're selling cigarettes, you're selling baby powder, you're selling, do they even sell baby powder anymore? I don't even know. But
yes, they do, but you don't see commercials for it.
Yeah, whatever it is, sex sells it. And it's a certain element of it that sells it. And when we talk about the adult entertainment industry, specifically porn, I'm always curious because that's a legal industry. But when it comes to prostitution, that's illegal, but you just don't have a camera, which is always boggles my mind about that. Mm-hmm. But we talked about the decriminalization and the politicization of the adult entertainment industry. I know I always mess up my words, but I'm gonna
try not to laugh.
I know I'm gonna actually share a clip of what Cinnamon said, and we will talk more on the other side about it, because I think just sharing it allows you guys to understand and see where she's coming from. So let's just share that clip real quick.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about consenting adults. We're not talking about minors, right? While there are instances of trafficking of minors, the legislation doesn't protect children. It criminalizes consensual sex work is what it does. And so, you're not creating systems to help people be able to work safely. And we don't see victims being able to go to the police either for, because of the way that this legislation has worked. Look at Centoya Brown. Centoya Brown, was a minor. She was being trafficked. She killed someone that she was being trafficked. That was trafficking her, and she went to prison for a long time. So none of this legislation is ever really effective because it doesn't do the work that it's supposed to do.
So that segues into what we talked about. And one of the things that happened is we kind of conflate human trafficking, sex trafficking with the adult entertainment industry. And I was happy that she kind of like talked about how criminalization of it does not equal, you know, a more safe environment, or it actually endangers the sex workers even more, and it puts a black market and makes people go underground more, and it puts that human trafficking element into place more because it's illegal. So if I did this, then I can't tell, and if you did that, you can't tell. So I thought that was very enlightening, and there's the politics around it is a lot of politicians are actively working to either to actually criminalize sex work in a lot of ways, and she brought light to that. And I mean, what are your thoughts, Cindy, about the episode?
It was, like you said, it was such a rich episode. We couldn't cut it.
There's a lot of You can see that in that clip.
Yeah, it's true. I like that she talked about Kamala Harris and her role in criminalization of sex workers and the effect on workers who choose to do this for a living. A couple of things that stood out to me was she grew up in a religious household. So she wasn't like some runaway, those stigmas that are related to that. She grew up in, I think she's a preacher's kid or something.
I was going to say, I think she's a preacher.
Yeah, she's a preacher kid. So she was like, this is what I chose to do. I'm like, that must have been some weird times around the dinner table, So it was just interesting to see her outlook on it. But like I had said in our other Million taping, was that it's not something that I personally support. I've seen those videos, movies, but it's not something that I personally support. I'll be like, hey, go out there and do that. Yeah, girl, that's a good career. That's not me. I'm pretty conservative, but it did expand my mind into the life and to the mentality of a person that came out of that field. She's brilliant. There's nothing wrong with her. Like, something must be wrong with her. She must be a drug. She must be this or that. No, she made a sane and conscious choice to do what she did. Well aware, she's highly active, like an activist. She pointed out a lot of things that's going on with the transgender community.
What?
I know, right? Words? What? I know, right? That's usually Tiff.
I was gonna say, I passed the torch over to you.
I know, right? For season 2, I'm gonna be the one going choo 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 choo. Transgender community. She highlighted a lot with homelessness and things like that, medical and also we had a big discussion on the fetishizing. Oh Lord,
fetishization.
You worse than me. Fetishizing, making a fetish out of people of color on the screen. And like I said back in the other taping, was that I always was fascinated with seeing a title of one of those videos and it says whore, black whore gets whatever by 5 men or whatever. And I'm like, why would somebody star in a movie where the person's calling them a whore? But she enlightened me on the fact that the titles come after that you've taped it. You don't know what the title is when you tape it. So I was like, oh, okay. So it really enlightened me on what people within the industry that are conscious and that have given full consent to do it, what some of their thinking is, their motivations and why they did it. So that was some of the things that, I took away from being on. And again, being on this show has really, we've seen a lot of guests come on the show. Shout out to all of you, the guests that have come on. And some people we don't necessarily agree with in our personal life, but when we're able to talk and open the dialogue, I got another perspective. So I really appreciated talking to her in an articulate way where she just explained her point of view. And I was like, I could see that, I could see, okay, I could see that. And it wasn't anything, convincing me, but it was just, just to see how perspective go. I really enjoyed that part.
Explaining the other side of it all, which is, I mean, that's always needed. Like you said, when you sit down and have a conversation, you understand both sides. You understand your side and you can understand the other person's side without necessarily agreeing, but just understanding how and why they made those choices. And I mean, I do feel with the decriminalization of that that industry, it will force people underground, and then there'll be more of that, the women going missing and kids going missing and being forced into that underground labor or underground, you know, network of it all. So
trafficking.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to conflate the adult entertainment industry with human trafficking, but I mean, they are in some forms or fashions related, but we're talking about you know, the adult entertainment industry. That was really what we were talking about and discussing for that episode. And I really enjoyed it. And like I said, Cinnamon Love, she's awesome. And I want to just mention one more thing. Her outfit and her glasses, when she first came, we were like, oh, come on. You're doing it.
Got the whole thing. She got the whole vibe.
I mean, just everything, the vibe, everything. I mean,
I also, the last thing I want to say about it is that I was interested in when she talked about, which I had seen in other videos from other people, a lot of documentaries on the discrimination that happens within the sex industry, like where Black male, like who you sleep with is how much pay you get. So Black women get the least. Then if you sleep with a Black male, you're like ruined. That's what you do at the end of your career. You might have you might have a sexual encounter with a Black male if you're a Caucasian woman, but that's got to be at the end of your career. You can't be doing that. It's basically a career ruiner. And I just thought it was interesting to see that when we say systemic racism, we literally are talking about every single industry. Like we legitimately, it's everywhere. When you think it's in the porn industry or the adult film industry, it was mind-boggling to me to see that. Yeah,
it was. And so guys, like I said, we have a month-long celebration of our year. 1 year anniversary. So we will have our favorites, your favorites, and just updates this month. So journey with us, and always subscribe, like, dislike, comment, hit the notification button to remind yourself or get reminders of when we come on. And you can follow us at Two Poly Chicks on Insta, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on Poly Chicks. So hit that subscribe button. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.